It's very important to resolve unfinished business with partners, ex-partners, family members, and so forth. And you might think, how would having this issue with a cousin or a friend affect my relationship with so-and-so? Something to really be aware of is that this is your computer, okay? Unless some information is on a different hard drive, everything's on the same hard drive here. So if you have the same synaptic firing, the same mental representations, this is like your hard drive, and you are angry with this person, how is your daily experience in being with this person not influenced by that? You understand? And that is why people project, because there's this old stuff, there's these old stories, and we think that we can avoid them by not talking about them or whatever it is. But it's important. Judgment, things that seem to be like so far removed from reality. For example, I have a cousin who, you know, there's some things that happen where his daughter doesn't even want to talk to him anymore. Like, it's been years. And I kind of know what happened, and in that, you know, a lot of people avoid him. They think he's kind of a jerk and whatever it is. And he's always asking me to hang out, to go do things with him. He's trying to be my friend, and he's just socially inept. I've done everything to blow him off. It's like him mid-sentence, yeah. I mean, I have. I've been like, where I just try to get rid of this person. Like, I don't want to talk to him. I realize that this guy is oblivious, but this guy's still trying. And even though he had harmed someone else, he actually never harmed me. Even though I think he's interesting, I had to get to a place of just really accepting him. It doesn't mean I'll hang out with him, but I really had to come to a place of peace, because I realized that at these family get-togethers, when I would see him, I noticed myself avoiding him. Avoiding someone creates some type of movement in my body. It only creates separation within myself. It's going to create a negative experience. We're not going to be fully present for everyone else there. So I knew I had to make peace with this person. And so that's why it's so important. I mean, even like if you find yourself talking about an ex, and you're like, yeah, you know, Bob's off with his young blah blah blah. She's a bitch, but anyway, and there's still emotional charge there. So it's important to go through your history, not beat it to death, but look at relationships where you feel there's something unresolved. So this is how we do it, and what I'll do is I'll actually do guided imagery with all of you. So the exercise, it's kind of like a little bit of heart math, is that you actually connect your heart, you open up your heart, you get really connected to what that experience might be as far as like what brings you joy. You get to that place where you kind of can like close your eyes, you know what that experience is. And then what you do is you either close your eyes, or if you can just do it with your eyes open, you write down a list of unfinished business, people whom you still hold judgment with, things you haven't really let go of. Like whatever those circumstances are. It might be 10 things, maybe it's more. What you might realize is that if you have like 10 stories, 5 of them sound the same. It's the experience of being betrayed. So it's no longer about these people. You realize, wait a minute, I keep creating these like repetitive themes. What does this say about me? These are just different players. So then what you do is you focus on those negative experiences. Then you go back to that happy place of joy until you feel something neutral to where you feel some type of release. In other words, what you're doing is that you're connecting to whatever happened, because more than often, when we still have an unresolved issue, it just hasn't moved into our heart with open awareness. So it would be connecting to that heart place, so we know what that is, and taking a moment, writing down that list, and then introducing ourselves to those circumstances. It might be just a situation. that you still feel frustrated about. You close your eyes, you connect to that heart space, and you will feel a release. You go through everything. And if you still feel stuck, then go back to another day, but go back to the heart space to end the session with openness. You might find yourself every day, if you do this for a week, you feel nothing regarding any of this stuff. Okay? Does this make sense? So if some of you might be like, oh, this sounds a little counterproductive. If some of you have been taught to think positively, to practice the law of attraction, that's good. I do the same thing. But if you find yourself still attracting circumstances that are still negative, that's because you need to change something in your engine. There's something that needs to be fixed. And this exercise is not a negative thing. It's a real thing. It's just basically saying, this is unresolved, I'm bringing it to love. This is unresolved, I'm bringing it to love. Okay? So let's do that right now. Almost as if you're looking at it with your eyes closed. Put your focus on your heart. And allow yourself to go to a place that just really opens up your heart. It could be the beach. It could be an old experience that was great, making a touchdown and you remember that joy. It could be the birth of your child. But go to that place, when you go to that, it just immediately just brings you joy. It's your go-to place you go to all the time now. If a moment of stress, you can go there. It's like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Feel your heart expanding, glowing. Allow yourself to invite white light through the top of your head and send it down to your heart. And just know you own this, no matter what. The rest of your life you can go here and you'll feel instant joy. It doesn't matter what you introduce to it. It's never going to be distorted. It's just pure joy, pure love. And as you hold that thought, that feeling, just imagine for a moment you're just going to put it on the side for a second and recall it again a little bit later. And think about one unresolved thing, one simple thing. And again, even this thing that might be negative or it's fear-based, there's still part of you connected to that joy that we just brought up. I want you to imagine as if you're going to take that fear or that negativity and you're going to put that in the same area in your heart. The only difference is that you're going to bring that loving, joyful experience right there too, where we're going to bring love to this. In this moment, connect back to that joyful place. Allow this joyful place to just diffuse any negative thoughts about this one thing. In fact, you might find yourself starting to shift. That there's no reason to hold any angst towards this thing. Because in pure heart consciousness, there's nothing about being right or wrong. There's no separation. Nothing needs to be said. It's kind of like looking at a child who can't say she loves you back because she's pre-verbal. But you see it in her eyes, that love. That's your heart love, right there. Doesn't need words. And then Grab another thing that maybe you think you have a little challenge with. Look at it with discernment, with openness. And bring that into that same heart space. Invite it with love. Connect to that joyful place again, and bring that joyful place to bring love to this one experience that you're trying to resolve. You're trying to diffuse. Maybe you're trying to learn something from it. And then now just connect yourself fully to the place of joy in your heart. And imagine your heart is pumping this blood throughout your entire body, throughout your arms, your fingertips, throughout your legs and feet. And just from this perspective, feeling your feet grounded on the floor and moving back to that heart space, that place you connected to joy. Just for a moment, just look at those two items I mentioned. Just notice how farther away they look, or they're not even there at all. And I just did this under 5 minutes. Just imagine if you were to go through different areas in your life, if you were to do this, what could shift? Take 3 deep breaths in, and on your third one, I want you to slowly open your eyes.